There we go. Booyah! Alright, let's get up the hill. Did I with one hand to show you this, but... Okay. The track pushes you nicely on top. Looks like there's an abseiling bolt off the side of it too up there. That's grouse. So this is actually a tributary. It splits here. And this is our third waterfall, and the fourth will be on top of that. And the crater's just going to be there. So, yeah, that's the full crater. We're really even going to try. Up in the mountains for this waterfall, but yeah, we're heading to I don't know how to say it, but anyway, we're heading to one, and there's potentiality of 4 waterfalls on this one, so hopefully it's good. I spoke to a guy yesterday. He said one waterfall in the north was dry, so hopefully not all like that. Anyway, let's see how we go. Here we go. Cowie Crater is an unmaintained trail. Enter at own risk. Private property, private property, private property. Beware of the dog. Private road. Luckily you can park there. Here we go, people. See how we go. There's a couple of cars here, so there might be a couple of people in here. Alright, rock's greasy because it's like drizzled this morning, but it's not supposed to really rain. Coming down these big boulders here. A little sign. You can hear the sound of the creek. And should be about 4 waterfalls on the way. Like people go all the way up to the top of this crater. I don't know if we'll go that far. We'll see how we feel. The main objective is waterfalls. It's starting to rain right now. Luckily the canopy's blocking it. Oh well, should be fun. Ew! Big ribbon. Someone's marked it. This is not too bad here. So far. Famous last words. So this is called Wai'oma'o stream, and there's like 4. They're unnamed waterfalls, but I'm just calling them Waiʻomi stream falls. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the way up there, probably is going to be more. And you can follow us all the way up, and this track hits a T on the edge of the rim of the crater. You can do a massive loop around the crater and then come back, or you continue along the whole walk for ages. Like you could actually do multi-day in here. That's how hectic it is. But like I said, we'll just lost the grasses. We'll just focus on following this stream pretty much to where she's gonna. It's the main sections of falls, and yeah, we're almost where it starts. I can see here that the trail will cross the creek and then it goes away from the stream where there's still potentiality of some more falls. But anyway, do what we can do here. It's a late start. I've had a late checkout. Lazy morning. Went out some crazy American lads last night I met to a friggin' R&B club on a Sunday night. But yeah, it was cool. I've met actually a lot of friendly people. So. Americans are pretty easy to talk to. They always want to talk to you as well, as soon as they hear the accent. We've got about 3 k's. We're pretty much just following the creek before we start to get some waterfalls. It's about 5 k's return, just through the section I'm planning to do, so yeah. It's not too humid at the moment. As soon as we start climbing, that will get worse. Yeah, shout out in the comments if you've been here, guys. A few plants like Australia. Nothing really crazy different so far. This is fine, alright, so there's no problem with that. There's a ribbon on the tree in case you've already got lost with this very obvious wide path. I don't know why people do that. It's weird. So there's the creek, there's a path. There's a path going up to the sound of another waterfall. I can hear up there, this is one way. We just got to have a look and see what the sound is. I can't see where the water's going, but you can definitely hear something. It's a trib, which we expected. Reminds me of like Mount Tamborine right here. These big rocks. It's not too bad a flow for a trib. Look at that. Bonus. Get a bit closer here. It's a bit muddy here, so make sure you've got your favourite shoes on. Not bad for a random little drop. It gets hidden away, you can't even see that from the bottom. That's cool. Well, in the first 10 minutes, already something. Phew. Well, here's where the trib drops in. So you can see the top bit where we just were up in there. There's a little tiny bit over here. So obviously if you got here, you'd see it, you wouldn't want to go back up there anyway, so that's cool. Just ballast the rock. Okay, so the ribbons are good here because you've had to cross, which is kind of obvious anyway because, yeah. And I guess if people didn't know, they would have maybe hugged that wall. And yeah, either way, it's working. Looks like we're crossing back again, which is strange. Water's almost underground here, but it's not. After this little random bit where it was just very open. Strange bit to cut that corner like that, but. So it says, almost there, back to trailhead, stay on the stream. Look at this pipeline. It's crazy. They must have consistent water for them to want to pump off this pipe. So you've got ribbons going up the pipe. You got a little track here. You follow the pipe then. It's probably going to join back pretty quickly anyway. It's quite wide here, this pipeline we're still following. The creek is down there. So it's probably going to be the whole way up, I would assume. Dropping down again. Pipe crosses the creek, it really pumped it underneath itself, and then back up here a really slippery side. So you can almost just creek up the whole way, people, but we'll keep using the track. Across the creek again, you're still following the pipeline, still following this creek. And so far, fairly flattish, so I guess when we get to our first set of waterfalls is where it is just going to start going up. It's not dramatic, but it does have to go up. We've got a weird track there, which I don't know what it is. The good thing they've marked. They haven't marked it with two ribbons. It's weird. Clearly going that way with ribbons. What's this alternative way up? Don't know. Anyway. Well, as soon as I said it, we started going a little bit up here. Mind you, the creek's still flat. Just the sides climbed. This is our pipeline here, and it's very rusty. It looks like a rotten tree right there. And it's got a hole, you can see there's rocks on it, so they're really not using it anymore. Okay, so I understand now that other track across the creek is the loop. You can come back if you want to around the crater. We're nearly halfway now to our waterfalls, so yeah. We're still pretty high up on this ridge, but we'll probably drop back in again soon. Eventually. It looks like there's an old pipe next to a newer pipe, so they still are running one. I'm actually rating this track like a friggin' 2 or 3 because yes, I've been able to walk along it, but it's annoying. It's got these pipes and concrete thingies, and it's not even really wide enough to actually walk conveniently without friggin' half stepping on things on 1 foot. Like, I can understand this trail here where it's like whatever. But yeah, it should be a little bit wider like it was at the start, next to the pipe. You see here, once we get up again, it's like a friggin' 1 foot in front of the other goat track. So if you step on the pipe, you're gonna slip. Well, I haven't seen any people, and I don't think I really will. So that's not bad. Despite how packed Waikiki beaches are, no one's really into hiking. Well, if they are, they're just not doing this trail. Maybe there's more popular ones, I'll have to suss it out. Anyway, onwards we go. There's a little metal pipe running through here too, which is, I don't know, maybe a local's pipe, I don't know. I could kind of hear something tumbling down there, but I can't get there. This track is isolated us. Alright, so our track's running through there, although there is a little kind of track going down here, which I guess could get us to the sound of this water. It doesn't sound like that big, but I don't know, look, it's kind of an easy way, so I might as well have a look. Look at this species of this fern. The tree fern, it's so big, they're just sprouting like straight out of the ground there. Look how big they are. That is just massive. I can't get my fingers around that. That's wild. Looks like maybe someone's little sneaky swimming spot here. It just pops it in, not really that deep, but I really think it's not even much of a waterfall, it's just kind of cascadey in boulders. We'll just go in and have a look. That was it, metre and a bit. So yeah, not really worth coming down it, but anyway, we did it because it was a path. Keep going straight, he's going to run away, but I just saw a little red crayfish about 10 centimetres. He just went in there. There's no way I can show you there. He was fast, but wasn't very fat. But yeah, I don't know if it's the same species as what we get in Australia, but it was cool. Alright, back up. I think this is the start of a dry trib basically dropping in. That's why it looks kind of like a path. But you can hear and see another little cascade dropping in, but it's only about a metre. This one doesn't really have a way down, so wait, just rest for it. I say that, there's some on their track here to go down. Now what, we'll go have a look. Let's put some rope here. Very greasy. Getting dirty, it's part of the fun. Two more pipes down here, that's probably why they made that little cut in. Oh well, let's have a look at this. Tiny. Baby. Anyway. Water's not too bad. That looks amazing with that big fern. Eden Wall would go nuts for this photo right now. That's so awesome. I saw another little crayfish run away there, that was great. Alright, so we're not far, we're 100 metres from our first waterfall. We'll probably just creek off from here. Or if we dare climb back up the top, hopefully there's another way down again. Surely there will be, because there's been 2 tracks down for 2 that weren't even on the map. Surely the one that's on the map will be. There's a track cutting into here. Maybe we could just try this way. Yeah. We'll navigate the side of this. Oh, whatever, let's have a look. So it's going up and down the bank anyway. So let's put another pump here. This is a little cascade, this is not the one, but someone would have missed a bit up the top. We'll just keep pushing around. Pretty nonetheless, a little swimming spot, not super clear water, but good enough if you want to swim in your life. I can see our first marked waterfall, and she looks pretty big. I'm happy. Surprised it doesn't have an actual official name. There's like a little cascade in between it. It's a man-made weir actually, it's concrete. Wow, flow is good. Now we've got to figure out if we're going to be going back up. Try and get to the next, because the next 3 falls are kind of close, but you'd have to climb around this. It's pretty big actually. Wow, bigger than you actually think from just back there. But we might have to backtrack to get up. Wow, this is sick. I believe we're going to get a nice big waterfall and no tourists. Holy crap, dude, this is actually amazing. Yeah, the water's a bit deep here, but I don't know why they made a man-made weir. That's weird. That's about friggin' 60-metre waterfall. There's more of like the pipe starts here into that. There's a rope here, I don't know what that's about. Yeah. What's this for? A lot of figs in the water. This is grouse. So there is a way, they put a rope. So they made a way to get down. There's a ribbon up the top. Another little trib dropping in. So yeah, I wondered if they actually knew about this on the creator track, because they probably didn't signpost it, but no, they've made it obvious. And plus you'd hear this from up there. This is epic. I can't believe this is actually pretty good. I didn't know what to expect with these actually, but yeah. There's a spot here without the tree in the way. There we go. Booyah! Now grouse. That's awesome. Little indented behind it. You definitely stand under that. The bamboo go up the side here. So yeah, definitely that's the way to get around it. We can get on top of it, probably two in a minute. Whew. Good stuff. First decent waterfall in Hawaii, people. Stoked. Stoked. I saw some little things yesterday, but they weren't really counting. They're just stuff in the city. This is the bang for buck. It's a shame this bamboo's going over the side of it, but anyway. Can't win them all. Get up the hill, get over with one hand to show you this, but so it took like an hour for this first one. The rest are like again really close. Some rope aids here. So this is not national park, this is just, I don't know who owns it, but it's just, I don't know, public land. Okay, the track pushes you nicely on top, it crosses it over, keep going along. I don't believe it does anyway. Moving through there, all it is on this side anyway. Little slippery obviously. There's no X out of this pipe. The rusty thing on top, I don't know. Okay, good stuff. See, there's a little cascade. And I can already see that big one. The next one already is about the same size as the first. That's awesome. They're all replica sizes. That's nice and easy. So, if it was so remote, better the crowded streets of Waikiki Beach down there. That is crazy, the more people aren't doing this. Anyway, alright, so as you come up here, the path goes straight steeply on the right to get around it, but here it is. It's a little blocked by this broken tree, but you can still appreciate it regardless. How cool is that? Looks like there's an abseiling bolt off the side of it too up there. That's grouse. Yeah, it's only took 10 minutes from the last one, so it's very close. And the next two should be hopefully amazing. Now this looks like part of the nettle family. I don't want to touch it to find out. I've never seen it with purple flowers before. That's cool and also annoying. Okay, so track's pushed us over. Let's got a bit of a look out here. Nothing crazy. Might be better if it was more clearer, but anyway. This is the top of the second waterfall. And yeah, the track kind of zigzags back to something itself there. And this is going to the next two. That's nearly the rim of the crater. We're nearly up there. I wonder if it's worth going all the way up. I don't really see any viewpoints on the map for it, but surely there would be. But again, it's also a cloudy day, so it's kind of frustrating. Either way, let's get our next two waterfalls. See a bit clearer now. There's actually about 3 or 4 houses on that hill. There's the abseiling bolt I saw. There's another one on top here. And the ribbons do actually cross here. Someone died here. Boom. Probably an abseil. We'll just slip off. Heidi Marie Page, 997. Resting, give you thanks for the love. Either that or they spread her ashes here. You never know. Probably fell off, but just take care, people. Just calm the frig down. Wow. We've got the bloke coming down the stream now. So this is actually a tributary, it splits here. And this is our third waterfall, and the fourth will be on top of that. And the crater's just going to be there. So this is the split here. So yeah, we'll head up this, and we'll get to the edge of the crater, and then we'll just turn back down. Happy days. Alright, so this actually has a little bit of a flap here where I can get a kind of a second tier photo. There's still ropes all the way, so that's cool. This guy was like, it's only you and me out here, bro, be careful. So yeah, easy. Let's keep going. Alright, so on top of that little tier, now another one has appeared with two more. I don't think this is actually the last one yet. I still think there'll be one more above this, we'll see. But you can see the end goal, that's the top of the, where it's going to start, so we're not far. Okay, so it's 166 metres to get up to the last bit of the top there. And apparently, the two waterfalls of this trib are marked past this. This doesn't count as one, I don't see how that's right. But anyway, let's just keep going. It's funny because this isn't my usual, like this is not a track, people. This is literally ropes tied to off-track scrambling up waterfalls that I would normally climb, except I don't have rope normally. So that's wild. Definitely extracurricular. This is pretty just relentless with these little tiers now. This one's alright. A little bit of pull, but it's murky. This track is nearly severe. Look at that. What the hell? That is wild. If there was no rope, I probably would have tried. Oh, I guess that's the only way. If you try to push into there, but yep, we'll trust their way. Okay, so this looks to be like the one they've actually marked on the map. And then yeah, one more technically above it. There's probably going to be little tiers like that in between it. And then I was going to stop there, but if I walk an extra like 30 metres, I'll probably we'll see if it flattens out. That's what we'll do. So the track come up here and it zigzag back on itself to get around it. Look at the hill now. I can see it closely. It's just all coral foam. That would be so deep to sink into, eh? Not to mention, obviously, lying on the side of a hill. That is wild. Up we go. Trying to find the last waterfall. So the track goes up there and it actually has a rope. It bypasses this little section, but I wanted to get in it because, you know, it's me. I'm going to see them all, even though I could see it from the bottom. I just wanted to be in here. And yeah, not too bad. A nice straight on photo. So we'll climb back up, keep going. It wasn't bad to get up here, but I'm not like loving the fact that I've got to go down all this slippery crap again. Anyway, like the alternative is to go along around the crater and then down the spur, but it would be way longer and I'm not going to do that now, so let's keep going. Here we go, this has got to be the last bit, but we'll see if there's any more above it. They're not as distinguished, these waterfalls, it's just one constant climb. Alright, so they put a string line across here. This is definitely going to be our last waterfall. I don't think there'll be much above this, but there might be some little tiny things, but I think this is the bulk. Just get up the bad boy and then all the way back down it again. That is full on, people. Be prepared for some fun. That last part was super slick, super vertical. The rope was probably the most useful there out of anywhere. There's a little bit you can grab, but it definitely aids you a little bit. A few trees, a few bits of handholds in the rock, but yeah, it's pretty vertical. Here's the last bit, last crumbs of the creek, and see what's above this little bit up here. Okay, close up this last tier, I believe, and yeah, we're above the last marked waterfall, so I was going to basically turn around, but obviously, as I said, we'll also just try and get a lip of the crater, which will where this will flatten out, and maybe we'll get a higher vantage point. So, see what's above this bit. You see the sky getting clearer and closer. Well, just like that, she flattened real quick. So we've got two bits of a track here. One is going up there, two is going in the creek. I don't really know what is what. It's only supposed to be one track. Like I said, we could just go back at this point, but kind of curious to know if we could just get one vantage point up on the side of this. Let me suss the map. Man, it got real quiet as soon as the water stopped. It's crazy. So, what I think, I'm not sure, there's a track going down here as well. There's one popping up here. So this is the real track that goes around the whole crater, which is over there. Staying the rain, which is not good for any sort of view. There is an option B. Now there's no official track, but someone has joined the gap. Instead of going around the whole crater, they've shortcutted from here, which I think is that ribbon down on the creek. And they've got a guy line that cuts across and it rejoins to the other ridge track. And we just follow the spur all the way down. I kind of like that theory because that's how I normally do creeks anyway. So maybe that's worth entertaining. I just literally will just go up here just to see this corner. This is pretty much the only chance of getting a viewpoint, I think, at least without doing the whole thing. And then we're gonna figure out, is it A, this track here, that's gonna be our loop back, or do I have to go back to the creek bit? I don't know, this one's not ribboned, but it looks a little bit discernible. So anyway, we'll just go up here first and just see what we get. That'll save us going back down all the slippery fucking slopes. So, yeah. Yeah, if we wind it up here, there might be a view there. I mean, might. Wasting a little bit of energy here, but hopefully we get something for it. We're not going far because I can see the track bends back down again, so it just kind of rolls over this corner, and then, yeah, this is the spot if it's going to be one. But it's so wide out there now. It's annoying. There we go. We can see the crater. Yeah, cool. Let's get up here. We've definitely climbed a hell of a lot with that waterfalls. So yeah, that crater track. Well, maybe get up here and explain it better. But looks like it goes up and down all the way around. It's quite a little bit mountainy up there. Interesting. So grassy in there. It's wild. No trees have grown in there, which is interesting. What a journey to get up and over that, if that's the way you're going. I hope this shortcut's going to work for us. So this probably would have been a vantage point, but she's whited out. Wow, that is crazy. I really hope the spur track's not overgrown too. That's another risk we're taking. Look at that, that's the full crater. We weren't really even going to try to even see this, but look, here we are. That's pretty cool, even though it's raining. It wasn't supposed to rain today. It just says cloud. It's just spitting, but I don't think it's going to pour on me. So look, this is a natural, we're on the rim of it right now. This drops away into that valley and that drops into the crater. That's sick. So it's only a little ridgeline. So it just keeps cutting through, so we won't go any further. We've got a vantage point of it, that's the main thing. It would have been a sick view looking out this way again, but it is just, yeah. You can't even see those waterfalls at all. Look how much coral fern there is, oh my god. That's wild, so lush and green. Look at this buffalo grass just growing up here. You can really see that up on top of mountain tracks. So I'm guessing there'll be a track here that's probably going to have to go over that hill to get to the spur to go down it. So let's see how that goes for us. So yeah, you actually go right up behind those mountains to go all the way along this other ridge line before you come back in again. So massive mission, and then there's a way to cut behind those hills probably on the top of the whatever the flattest ridge line we can't see, but straight down. It doesn't look too steep for the shortcut, so we'll just see how this is going to go. Apparently it is really close to the edge of the crater, so I don't know, let's just see if we can figure it out. Okay, so the creek's kind of got two little tribs that's dropping at the start here. There's a ribbon here, so we're just going to follow this, see if it works for us. There's a lot of muddy footprints kind of joining in the middle there. So that other track I went down, it joined back to the creek where that was, so same. Alright, let's push through. It's a little bit overgrown here, but hopefully once we push and join the original trail, it should be fine. Carpet moss here. Oh, this stream is just drains out of the crater. I don't know if there's animal prints there, well, that's just shoes, but there's a lot of indents. Trying to follow the ribbons. There's one just there. Can't even see where he went. Oh, they must have come from some track over there. This has all been cut here, and they wouldn't have walked up the waterfall to do it. So the power lines are up there, must be a track. It's weird. Anyway, I'm pretty much in the crater now. So maybe they're trying to make a track that's while they cut stuff. Whoa! sunk right in that fucking crater. I knew it was going to happen at some point up here. Okay, let's go back and wash the feet. Try that once more and go that way. So yeah, this entire crater, you can see it's all marked as marsh, and that's why it's always going to drain. So that waterfall is always going to flow, so that's pretty good. I'm a little bit off the line, but this has got to be the way. See, there's a ribbon cutting in now, so we just cut back in now. We should be climbing back up. We're only about 100 metres from the actual corner of the spur to meet the real track, so not too hard. Hopefully. I wouldn't keep walking in the middle of that because I think you're just going to sink. Got to get through this as it is. It's gonna be fun. I don't know what's going on because I found like another ribbon, so I just back there, you can see it. So they've pushed through here, but you've got to get up. Like we've got to get now. We can't keep going. This is the middle of the crater, people. Like I got right in it. It's all churned up. Like there's been cattle here or something. I don't know. I don't know what animals, but it's pretty churned. The mountain there is full covered in cloud. Anyway, I'm just going to go to that little corner there. Hopefully we can see another ribbon. Otherwise, the original guide track he's recorded was higher. So these ribbons are different to the recorded track. So this is the issue. It's two different people doing two different things. And could even be three different people or more because, I don't know. I don't know what these ribbons are in the middle of this crater. We're looking for a way in, some sort of cut path that will take us up. We need to get up and then we'll be up on the ridge we need to be on. So, I'm not seeing anything here. Surely the ribbon went somewhere. Unless they want to just walk in the middle of this, I don't see why. I guess everyone has their thing. Yeah, maybe that's all this is. Maybe it was just a ribbon track to get in here. Last little look here. We're going to have to go back or just have to go off track to get up, which was just not what I wanted to do. I was hoping I was going to find an obvious way. It doesn't look like there's anything through there at all. That's going to be a mad push. I don't see any more ribbons tied. All right, let's just go back and maybe have to backtrack all the way to where we started this off track bit and then maybe try and figure out how this other guy went higher. Maybe we'll find some evidence of a way. So if I'm not sinking too bad, so definitely got Jurassic Park vibes, that's for sure, people. I still don't know what this cutting's for because it doesn't really go anywhere. We're at 500 metres above sea level, by the way. That's how much we've climbed up. So fair whack. So there's a ribbon. I'm just not seeing. Another ribbon deep in the forest. I just followed that. I was pretty much walking next to it. Like I don't understand. It's weird. Let's keep going back. Alright, so I doubled back and then this is the track that goes up. I did see this originally and I should have remembered that this is where I should be going and not trying to follow the ribbons, follow his track. So that's weird. The ribbons are not on this track, but there is rope, so good sign. Alright, it was steep and muddy, but we were up it. Kudos to whoever cut that because it's helping us. No rope here, but you can just get through. Alright, so we're up on the opposite side shoulder now. So we went up there, and now we're up here on the other side of the waterfall. So cool, this will pretty much take us all the way along this ridge and down. It looks pretty well good, so I think we'll have a good run. It's going to climb a little bit higher here and then zigzag back left, and it's a should be a nice gradient back down. Whoa, slippery. Look at that. What? That's someone's shortcut. Maybe it is, so you can follow the waterfall more closely down. That's wild, I didn't see that. Anyway, let's follow this. You don't need to follow the creek, might as well follow the, like I said, the ridgeline. So, pretty fun, little bits of rock to climb up. Still climbing a fair bit before we actually get on the flat ridgeline to go down. Oh well, there's the ribbon here. So that's it. That's the end of the unofficial track, but as you can see, it was pretty well worn. This is now the junction, two different ways here of the official track. So right would be the long ass way all the way around the crater and all the way back to where we just were, and left is our shortcut down the spur. So no more climbing, just slow, gradual down, down, down on a spur now. Should be a nice, good run. Steepest part's going to be right at the end where it zigzags back to the creek line, but it's only for like 150 metres at the most. So happy days. See you down here. I reckon the guy that I met on the track did this in reverse of what I did. I don't think he would have climbed up all those waterfalls and then just got to the crater with little or no view and come back the same way. So he's keen. I'd rather go up the waterfalls and down this way. So each to their own. It's pretty epic. If this was clear, I'd probably have way sick views right now. Didn't bring the drone because it was raining and it was cloudy, and I probably made the right decision because we wouldn't have saw much. It's a bit disappointing, but here's what it is. And yeah, I'm going to try and do maybe one or two shorter ones after this on the other side of town. There's another, probably the same distance and same difficulty of this creek, and like one or two valleys over that I could do, but I'd rather leave it fresh for tomorrow. Try and get up earlier. And yeah, I'll try and do some shorter ones after this. So I do a long one and a couple short ones versus just two long ones. So that's the GO. Look at this here. It's like someone spent a lot of time to cut this. There's no national parks doing this, so it must be just real keen locals. Could even mean that dude that did this hike, maybe it's his local friggin' path and he just slowly hacked away at it. Good for him if he did. He didn't brag about it if he did. If you get up here with like 6 people and you just all chop, 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 eventually it becomes wide. There's really no wind, a little tiny breeze in that leaf. The birds have stopped. There were some birds before. Can't hear the creek at all. Oh, you just can. It's so quiet, eh? It's wild. Looks like wild pigs have been digging up here. Someone's been hanging out here. Literally. With a hammock. Someone lost the soul of their boot. It happens a lot. Well, definitely moved pretty fast along there because we're on the last bit now, zigzagging back down to the creek. And then, yeah, we'll be pretty much nearly out. A little bit of the creek to go, but still. There's one rope back there to help you on a slidey bit. It's been pretty damn easy, this track. I really enjoyed this going this way now. Alright, so when I started this hike this morning, there was 2 cars and I met the guy with 1 car and I wonder who owned the other one. Well, I've just met 4 people, 2 Americans and 2 I believe to be Argentinians. And yeah, they'd walked the entire long way around the crater loop. They said they were trying to take the shortcut but they didn't find it. So you've got to be vigilant people and read your maps. And they're using all trails and I'm like, get Gaia, it works better. Anyway, I'm like, well, you didn't get lost. You still, you know, still found a way, so there you go. All right, so I'm back on the main trail, the main creek, back to the pipeline, and probably about 20 minutes I'll be out. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this journey. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified of all the new misadventures. I'll catch you guys in the next one, eh? Peace out. Chickens running around in the start of the trail here. Just passed one more couple at the start that were just chilling near the creek. I don't think they're doing the hike. There you go.